So you guys saw I was trying to go live a few times. I know several of you had already joined, so I do apologize about this. I'll give you guys just a minute to let these notifications sync out, and then we'll take a look at this Limitless build. And may have to turn the light on or turn it off. We'll find out in just a minute. I'll let you guys get on here. And it's been a minute since I've been live anyway, so we'll see how this goes. I think all the notifications went out. It might have been two or three. If you're joining, I'll let you know at what point or time in the video the live has started. There we go. So notifications are going out. Okay, we're back. We're back. What's going on, RC Modified? What's going on, Dictator RC? What's going on, Jeremy? Appreciate you guys joining in. Sorry about that little confusion earlier. What's going on, Richard? So it's been a minute since I've been live. Still haven't played around my software to get a good live video up, but I wanted to show you guys, of course, my Limitless V2 build. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this IX SR radio in it or not. Probably will. I want to show you guys some functionality. I've done it in another video before, but I'll probably end up putting this in there. So, yep, this is the Limitless. It's the version 2. Differences in the version 2, it's got a couple of things that's done differently. I'm not a big fan of the battery trays because they are smaller than the version 1, of course, the infraction and the felony that's currently out there. But they did that so you can put bigger ESCs and stuff in it and do some modifications to it. Now, this is still the fastest RC car build you can buy. It's going to be this one, and then the Hobio is right a second, the Hobio VTE2 or E or whatever. I think this one's over. I think someone got it to 220, I believe. Not this particular car, but they got the Limitless to go that fast. And then the Hobio was like 215 or something. You guys put down in the comments, but I can't remember the speeds of it. But I know the Limitless is still the fastest RC car build you can do out there. So got a couple more people joining in. What's going on, Sun City RC? I see some of you guys know each other too. RC Modified knows Addicted to RC. So I'm just doing a short video on this. I got to reorder some SMC lipos. This is a 6S lipo, but you have to get a lipo that can fit in that battery tray in here. That's 139 millimeters. And all the lipos I have, of course, are bigger. So right now, I did get a set of Z lipos I'm going to use, probably just to do some parallel test running with this. And I'll show you guys kind of what I did to this too. XO1 is actually obsolete. I hate to say it like that, but Traxxas should have been on that game. They should have updated the XO1 a long time ago. I've had several XO1s. When it was first announced, it was revolutionary. It's over, jeez, 10, 15 years ago the XO1 came out. And it was the first 100-mile-per-hour car. And it still is, legendary for being the first RC car you can go 100 miles per hour out the box. Of course, changing out the pinion gear and then unlocking the vehicle. But the problem with the XO1, for the biggest problem with me, is going to be the weight. The car is way too light, and then it's going to need bigger tires. So, of course, Arrma came out with their Limitless, and they also came out with the infraction, and that pretty much shut the market down. Then they had the felony. And since then, from what I've seen, Arrma has still ruled the 7 scale market, whether it's off-road and or on-road. They got their 7 scale vehicles too. And everybody kind of copied after them, which is fine. I mean, you copy the leader. But that's the history of the XO1. Traxxas should have been done something. They could still take that platform, but they need to make the XO1 heavier. They need to get rid of those proprietary battery trays or just put some Velcro straps in there. And they need to get some better tires on there. They do those 3 things, they will have a 100+ mile per hour car that can handle it out the box. And of course, you got to unlock it and stuff. But yeah, Addicted RC. This is the craziest RC car platform. Now, if a Laro does something like this, that'll be something very interesting because a Laro could do a dual motor setup. I'll go ahead and take this body off of here. And that would be very, very, very interesting if they do something with their vehicles like the 787 and make it into a 7 scale vehicle and do dual motors. Whether it's super fast or not, people are going to buy it. So we'll see. I think they're climbing up the ladder. But this is just a quick look at the inside of this. It's got like a rebranded Max 60 SC. It's got a 1250 kV motor, and this is Horizon one. I'm gonna take this out actually, and I left the box on the other table. I have a center diff I'm going to put in here. Now for this, you have to have particular parts for it. So I don't have the box. I thought I had it over here, but I don't, because the version 1 you can just pop the regular center diff in there. Don't have to get any extra length dog bones or anything. But the version 2 is a lot different. I don't know if you guys want me to turn the light on, but let me know in the comments if you want me to kind of flash the light or not. I'm at about 40%. If I do this, really going to kill my battery. But you know, for this, you do have to do a couple of things different. You can still buy the center diff that goes in their buggies and truggies from Arrma and slap that in here. But the biggest thing is that once you do that, the way this is constructed, you have to buy different dog bones for it. And like I said, the box over there on the counter. And when I do the build, I'll probably do a video and show this to you guys. So that's going to be one of the things about this. And I may try to get this running tonight and do a speed test tomorrow just as it is. Got these Power Hobby tires, but I'm not going to put these on there because these aren't going to be able to handle really 8S power. So it is what it is with that. So anyway, back to some of the comments. What's going on, SST? Appreciate you joining in. Good evening, Sun City. Go back. What are good tires for the infraction? Depends on what you're trying to do there, Michael. I know some people in the comments may say something too, but it just depends on what you're trying to do. The Hoons are good for going out and running and just kind of showing out, but I think if you really want to get some good runs in with, you're going to need some GRPs. And I'd recommend S1 or S2 compounds. They're a little soft and they can wear down, but they're going to be smaller than the Hoons, but they'll give you great traction, which is what I ran on my other Limitlesses too, which I'll get for this one at some point. So what's going on, Charles? Appreciate you joining. Oh, Corey, I don't know. I was trying to load one up and I just shut it down. It was going in the portrait type, and I wanted it to be a landscape like this so I can kind of show the whole thing. So I just kind of shut it down, but that is kind of crazy. So Timmy asks, does anyone know if Legendary is out of business? That name sounds familiar. I don't know what they make, so I'll have to scroll down the comments to see what Legendary is and stuff. But Corey said a Betty by Design's Limitless body. I'm thinking about it, but I love the IndyCar look. I mean, you guys can look on my homepage for my YouTube channel, and I still have the Limitless V1 up there. I love the IndyCar look. I've been in love with this car since they first announced it. I had a V1 and I ran it like the commercial had it running. I put a center diff in it. I believe I was the first person to put a center diff in one of those because I wanted to run it like they did in the commercial. They had it jumping over Clark curves and spinning out and stuff. And with the spool, you're kind of limited with that. I hate to say kind of cliche there, but you're limited on the Limitless with the center diff. I mean, with the spool. So with the center diff, you're good. So one person says light on. Let's see. I can't leave it on for too long, but I'll put this on. Does that help out a little bit more so you guys can see? I'm going to replace this servo that I have in here. I got a Power Hobby servo I'm going to put up in there. I can't leave it on too long because I'm filming this kind of through my phone and it will drain it really quickly. And I don't know how it does as far as video quality is. So for 8S bashing, I'm gonna tell you this. I think the GRPs are the best ones. I'd say get some S2, S3 compounds. The higher up you go in the S rating, the harder the tires are gonna be. I usually run S1s on mine, and they're gonna wear out. But usually when I'm gonna set this up for general running on 8S, but it's gonna be about a 90 plus mile per hour car, but I won't have any heat issues. You can do the same thing with the infraction and the felony, but you're going to have heat issues, you know, because you got to put the high-speed pinion gear in there. Out the box, I think they're about 60s, maybe lower 60s. And then to get that 80 plus miles per hour, close to 90, since people get 91, 92, you do have to gear up, but that's not going to be a consistent run. It will overheat. That's just kind of for doing speed testing, so. 332 RC says, Scorch RC sells the center diff conversion. And there you go. So appreciate that. He's put some information there. And the ones I got, I can't remember where. It's the box is over there, so I do apologize. But yeah, that's what you need if you want to do that. I did it on my V1, and like I said, I think I'm the very first one to put the center diff in the Limitless because I wanted it to run good. And from that point, I was happy. And then they did this rebuild. I don't know why they did it. They wanted to have more space and room and stuff like that. This is a SMC 6S lipo. I think this is about 139 millimeters, and this will fit up in there. It's just got a piece back there like that, and that's why I got these Z lipos now for testing. I did get these off of Amazon. I need to go ahead and get these kind of charged up. But Z's are pretty good too. These are 72s. I thought I got some 65s. Okay, never mind. These are 7200s. So that'll be good. But I'll probably try to get this tested tomorrow if you guys want to see this run. I'm curious of how it's going to run like this. There is a carbon fiber splitter on the front, but I'm taking that off because that's going to be the first thing to kind of get messed up. And I kind of want to keep this looking, it's not going to look brand new, but I want to keep it looking good. So I'm going to take that off. I'll probably have to do a little bit of trimming, but I kind of just want to run it. You guys know how it is, holiday season and stuff. So what's going on, X-Man? Appreciate you joining in. You guys can smash the like button for me. It's about 35 people on here, so. Aluminum wheels for the, I don't know. There's probably somebody out there that does. Somebody in the comments will probably say it, but they want to know, does anybody make aluminum wheels for the Arrma cars? So I'm pretty sure somebody will comment. So yeah, X-Man, yeah, this does look good. I like the IndyCar look. So Jeremy asks, what is my favorite brand? I guess not going in any particular order. You guys know I like Arrma cars. I mean, most of my channel is 50% Arrma stuff. Whether it's sponsored or not, I like Arrma cars. They make some good, unique cars, and they brought a lot to the market too. Is the Arrma. Alaro has stepped up their game. I can't wait till they do large scale vehicles. So of course it's going to be Arrma, Alaro. Haven't had too many low cars, and I did have them. They were good. I like Traxxas stuff too. I know some people don't like Traxxas stuff, but I like their vehicles. I just haven't bought any in a while. I was actually gonna buy the Bigfoot and the JayTee the other day, but I think I'm gonna wait until they come out with the 4S JayTee. But Traxxas is too. I've always been a Traxxas fan, especially back in the day. I have a video I'm gonna work on that talks about the history of Traxxas from my point of view, and that's talking about it from the 80s going on up. So that'll be a very interesting video because I don't know if you guys want to hear me yap about that, but I can give you a little bit of my background as far as RC cars. But I'd like to do it through a video presentation because it's better to kind of visually see something than hear somebody talk and hold a phone. But you know, if you guys want to hear that, put it in the comments, and then we can I can tell you about my history of RC cars. Is that's what I'll do. I got a video series coming up. I've been working on. I just haven't had time to finish it. But it's going to be a history of RC cars from my point of view, and then the history of Traxxas, Associated, Losi, even Tamiya, Kyosho, and all that from my point of view, because I've been in this since the 80s, and I've seen it change, and it's had huge changes over the years. So what's going on, Jeremy T? Appreciate you joining. I'm just going to go live for a minute. I'm not sure if I'm going to put this in here or not. This is an awesome radio. It's got a lot of features and stuff in it. If I can get this open. I'm trying to do this one-handed. So I've used this in a couple of cars. Put that there. And I don't know if you guys have seen this radio. I've had it on my channel. Some people have it on their channels too. Go ahead and boot this up. It does take about 30 to 40 seconds to boot up, so. Yeah, HPI's got the Maverick series. I had the Maverick truck. I like the way that looks and stuff. It's pretty cheap too for $240 for a brushless four-wheel drive trucks. People said they had some differential issues, but I didn't have any. But I didn't have it long enough to experience those diff issues. HPI does need to update their stuff. They did the Vorza Truggy, which was great, but it just didn't hit as hard as we thought it would. And then, of course, the Vorza version 2 is nothing but a Vorza with just different tires and wheels. They didn't change anything on it. I mean, it was kind of disappointing in a way. I wish they had made that battery tray and stuff a little bit better and did a couple of upgrades, but it is what it is. Let me see. Speaking of batteries, what is this battery at? Trying to see what my percentage is at, y'all, so I know if I got to turn this camera off or not. So we're doing pretty good. So Timmy says Legendary makes the Sonic, the Thunder. Okay. Tornado and Nitro, but you can't find them in any place. Okay. Yeah, maybe on eBay or something like that. But who has a new crawler? Are you talking about what company, Jeremy? I'm not sure what company you're talking about with that. This is probably not the best because this is gonna have like a little glare and stuff to it. I may have to turn this light off. HPI. Oh, yeah. I haven't done that many crawlers on my channel. Um, I thought Raceway requires permission to display over apps. Blah blah blah. I thought I had all this set up. Blah blah blah. I can just skip through that and continue, but it may be an. I haven't fired this up in over a month, so that may be just an update they did to this. But anyway, you guys know this is basically like a tablet that's built into a radio, which is pretty cool. It's got a lot of functionality on it, way above my pay grade for radios. I don't know if any of you guys have got this radio or seen it in stores and stuff, but what was I looking for? I think I was just trying to show you guys some of the functionality of this, but anyway, that's enough of this. I'm not sure if I'm going to put this in here or not. It'd be pretty cool to put it in there, but sometimes I just throw my cars in the back of the trunk and I'm trying to keep this radio in very good condition. So anyway, back to y'all's questions. Is the Spectrum ADA system any good with the new ESC? It probably is. They have it in the new Outcast and Creighton. I've seen them run. I don't own one myself, but I've seen the new Outcast and Creighton run, and they it's actually powerful. So it should be good. I think that's why they had a sale on the older system in the motor recently last month that sold out actually pretty good. So yeah, it's gonna be good. What are you gonna put it in, Michael? What's going on, Harlem, New York, RC? Appreciate you joining in. Smash that like button if you don't mind. It doesn't cost you a dime, but a second of your energy. Jeremy said, "What's a good 2S lipo?" I use SMC lipos a lot. Z Racing has got some great lipos. Gen Ace does. There's several companies out there. I do post in the community page about sales. There was a sale where you can get two 2S lipos for like $20. And you can't beat that. I mean, one lipo goes bad, you got another, you pay $10 lipo. So pay attention to my community page. And if you haven't joined me on Facebook, join me over there too, because a lot of stuff I don't put on YouTube to do a video on, but I'll just put a post out, hey, the sale's going on. I did a lot of Christmas sales. I don't think there's that many after Christmas sales I didn't see yet, but it just depends on what you're gonna run that 2S lipo in. What's going on, CSLRC? Mike, I need to go back to your question because I forgot. Oh, so you're gonna put that 8S system in your infraction. You ready for 8S already? That's gonna be something. I think this is in flight mode. This might have did a reboot. Go back to this. Probably have to fidget around with this a little bit. Yeah, I have to fidget around with it somewhat. So anyway, go ahead and power this back off. Okay, well, you the man. You jumping 8S already. That's what this is gonna be. I'm doing 8S because I want to do 8S. It's all period. I mean, all my batteries are 8S except for a few 3S. So my 3Ss are a lot larger than this battery tray can house or hold. So that's why I'm going 8S on here. And 8S is, I don't know, you just 8S. You could get about the same speed I'm going to get on this on 6S, but you're going to overheat or you're going to have heating issues. So I'll probably leave these hoons on there, but I'm going to change this servo out tonight, possibly, because it's got a different servo horn. It's a 23 spline. I got a 25 in there, so I have to see if I got it. If not, I'll just leave that on there for now, just to do a couple of passes up and down the street. With it, you guys see the gearing and stuff in there. It's gonna be pretty interesting. You know, almost literally a 1-to-1 ratio. with that, but we'll get all that rolling and see how that goes. This is probably going to be 100 miles per hour out the box. I'm actually going to charge these batteries up tonight, so this should hit 100 miles per hour straight out the box. So we'll see and get it out there and test it with these hoons on there. These tires are not going to hold up. We already know that. So Jeremy says, "What am I running the most? I run everything. I've been running a lot of mini cars lately because it's easier just to take and go. It's easier to charge, grab, and go. So Jackson asks, I'm assuming you're talking about the newer Spectrum system. I think they did an upgrade to all of those. If you get some of the new ones, you will have the upgraded system in there. So, well, go ahead, Michael. Do your thing. If you got them in there, go ahead. Some of my cars I like to leave box stock because I just want to be able to run it without having to do modifications and add money to it. But that's just me. That's just some of the vehicles I have out there. So yeah, anyway, I'm not going to stay live too long. I did wanted to at least touch bases unless you have some questions, concerns, want to chat for a minute about some stuff. Which Jeremy just said, do I like the Notorious Sixes? I've seen it. I don't own one myself, but if it runs like the new Creighton, that's going to be good. So I've seen it out there. I've seen a couple of videos on it. I've seen it in my local hobby shop. So it's going to be good. I've had the Outcast when that came out. I didn't want to get an Outcast at first until I saw my boy had it. And when I saw my boy had it, he's running at his house, and I had to get one. I didn't use too much for stunning. It just looked cool with that gray body and stuff on it. You know, and that's what I mean when I say Arrma's still number one. I mean, they're coming out with stuff and they're kind of pushing the envelope. If we had to, if we had to go 1 to 5 for RC cars, I would say Arrma's number one. I mean, they are pushing the envelope with this. Traxxas is still number two. They were number one years ago, but they're now number two. They may go down to number 3 or 4 because a lot of companies are stepping their game up. Red Cat stepping their game up. Alaro stepping their game up. Team Corrales stepping their game up. I got a Kagama 4S coming tomorrow, so I'll probably focus on that. You guys can see that Kagama 4S tomorrow when I get that. So you got several companies stepping up. I mean, HPI is about 6 or 7 on the list, maybe close to 5 or 6. They just have to come out with stuff. And then the sleeper is Hobio. They definitely are a sleeper. It's just that there's not enough of their stuff out there, but Hobio is definitely a sleeper. If you guys haven't checked them out, go over there and check them out. Tesla next. Yeah, my boy owns a Tesla. You guys saw it in the video, so. Happy New Year to you too, Jackson, man. Be safe out there. I'm gonna be getting off of here in a minute too. Mom says I need that 8S Creighton. Go for it. It actually runs good. My local hobby shop ran. I was impressed. So they've done what they need to do. It actually runs really good. So can these fit a Max 6 1600? Yeah. This is a 1250, and this is a Max 6 ESC. This can fit a Max 5 in there. Let me turn this around real quick because I had a Max 5 my other one. You guys see all that room it's got? It can fit a Max 5 in there easily. So I had a Max 5 of my other. Now Max 4, that's going to be a little tight. And you can still have to worry about reconfiguring the motor and stuff. So you can still do it in this kind of stock configuration here with that. Yeah, that Red Cat MT18 is a good one. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Yeah, and Sin Racing too. Haven't forgot about Sin. I did forget about Sin, but they're in the run too. I think Sin needs to redo their Colossus vehicle. I think they do. If they redo that, I think they'll be good. That Colossus truck, the American Force, beautiful truck, and it runs okay. It just needs to be updated. And I thought that they were going to do that with their last release, but it was a Sakaro truck. If they do an update on that and keep the price down low, they'll have something out for competition. Because I have seen that truck when they've modified it. They put the bigger, thicker drive shafts on it, dog bones and all that, and the truck ran really well. So if they could do that and keep the cost down, they'll have a winner there. Because it's a 6S truck, and it's about 50 plus miles per hour. It's about the same speed as the X-Max. And it's just as fast. It's just as nimble. It's actually nimbler than the X-Max. So Yeah, I mean, the thing that's getting traction, so keeping traction on the mat is stuff like the X Max, of course, the Slash. You want to storage, part supply, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that Traxxas needs to. The JayTee should not have been called a JayTee. There's still controversy over that name. The JayTee is a nitro platform. It always has been. It always should be. Now, if they made that JayTee that's out now a nitro buggy, that would have been cool. But we've been asking Traxxas for a four-wheel drive buggy for a long time. And they finally did. That should have been called the Bandit XL or something, or the Bandit X. But maybe they didn't want to get the names confused. I don't know. But that still would have been fine to call that a Bandit X. That's like going to the store and you telling your parents you want a Traxxas Max and a Slash, and they get you a Max Slash or something. Yeah, Red Cat's getting it too. Those trucks they released recently for under $300, them $400 trucks, and they upgrade the shocks. Those are a good deal. I mean, that's one of the best deals out there in RC. You can't even find 3S cars that cheap. So yeah, I've never had one of those. I saw a lot of reviews on that base camp, but so I mean, it's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, it's also in the hands of the beholder and stuff and what they want to do with it. But the Valkyrie MT, yeah, the Truggy is cute, but the MT I think is the better buy. I beat the snot out that thing and just tore the body up, but I did get that from Hypes RC, so you guys go over there, check them out too. They're actually doing some updates and stuff as well. HypesRC.com. So y'all, it's about 10:45 here. I'm about to get off of here in a few minutes. I just wanted to kind of touch bases with you guys, let you see this kind of build I'm working on. I may not do it tonight. I just kind of want to do some R&R over the next couple of days. If you guys haven't noticed, I do have a UFO channel. So look at the community page, and you'll see that I've been focusing a lot of my time on that channel and building that channel up. It's called UFO Phenomena. You guys can go over and check it out. I post out videos every 2 or 3 days, and the videos are actually doing good. They're 4, 5,000, 30,000 views. It's kind of funny because it's doing better than my RC car channel. But that's kind of what I wanted it to get at anyway. But if you guys are into that kind of stuff, any paranormal phenomena, all that stuff, go over there and check it out. There, just put something on the community page to a video I just posted out today. People are saying it's the planet Venus. I didn't know the planet Venus looked like that, which is not. I don't know what people are thinking with that, but you guys can go over there and check that out. Oh, Jonathan says, don't get off yet. I just jumped on. Okay, I'll stay on. We were talking about several things. Nobody asked. I would keep yapping, but I asked people if they want to know the history of RC car from my point of view. I got some videos working on. Somebody may steal that idea right now, but it's fine. I don't care. They stole a lot of stuff that I've done on my channel and ideas and stuff. But I'm gonna do some videos as far as RC cars history of from my point of view, because I've been doing RC cars for a very very long time since the '80s, and first cars were of course little toy cars. That's when Nico was out and stuff, and then my first hobby grade car was a Monster Beetle, and I actually have pictures of that still. Me and my brother, he had a Kill Show Ultimate. I had a Monster Beetle, and I love that thing. My boy had a Nico Rhino. My other friend had a Thunderbolt. So the difference between those, that was like comparing the Hornet to the Grasshopper. Even though the Thunderbolt and the Rhino were designed on the same platform, the Thunderbolt had a 380 motor, the Rhino had a 550 motor, and the Thunderbolt was blue, the Rhino was white. So we used to run those things, and we used to have block championships. Then we got into turbo hoppers, and then Traxxas hit the scene with their Traxxas Cat, and that was the first ready to run hobby grade vehicle, meaning it was already put together. You have to put it together. Everything back then was a kit, so everything had to be put together. And I give them props for that because they have everybody step their game up for that. Let's see real quick. I want to make sure I'm answering you guys' questions and not just yapping the whole time. You guys mind if I turn this light off? I want to save some battery so I can stay on just a little bit longer if you guys don't mind. So let's go back to this. Oh, you're talking about the drones? Yeah, you talking about on the UFO channel? Yeah, it's those have been interesting. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news, but there's been some drones in the air everywhere, and it's still stuff out there. It's gonna get very interesting. So I may go live on there tonight if I can. I got some pizza rolls I'm gonna eat for a snack, and I may go live on that channel tonight too for just a bit to talk because I haven't been over there live. We have some good discussions over there. I just don't have any of my live equipment to set up to do a good live presentation like I want, where I'm talking, you guys see my face, I can show my screen, I just haven't sat down and figured out and I need to do it. But Jeremy says, do I like the Big Rock? No, I love the Big Rock. That is my favorite 7 scale vehicle. Mine's is actually in pieces because I beat the tar out of it. But if you search my channel, Jeremy, look at the video I did on it. That is the one car I took through hell and back. I took it over to a construction site, and I took it through all its paces. They got submerged in water. I lost a tennis shoe, a pair of socks, and some clothes that day. But I wanted to take it through its paces. You didn't even recognize. I mean, it just had a coat of mud over it, but it survived. So yes, the Big Rock is my favorite truck. I'm thinking about maybe buying another one and then building a trailer to tow this around. That's why I kind of don't want to run this. I like the new look of it. I like the new smell of the tires and everything. So y'all may not see me run this for a minute. I may just get it together and just, I don't know, look at it. So Charles says, I just bought the new Creighton V6. Oh yeah, congrats on that. Yeah, that thing is a monster. It is a monster. So my best RC car as a kid, I'm gonna say it's got to be the Traxxas Radicator or the Traxxas Blue Eagle, Blue Eagle LS, because that was around the time I was in high school, in the early '90s. Um, and when I got the Radicator and then the Rad 2 and all that, I loved it. Now I've had a lot of cars back in the day. The Monster Beetle was my first, so that's always my love. When they re-released it in 2015, I jumped on it, built it, and I've had 3 or 4. I keep building them and then people buy them, so I need to build another one. So the Monster Beetle is always going to be my first love because that's when they first came out with it. I had the Technigold motor for it. That was a brush motor, but it was a 540 VZ, I think it was called, a Technigold motor, which was an upgrade from, of course, the stock motor. And when I put that in there, I just blew my mind about the speed of it. So Monster Beat is always going to be my love as far as RC cars go. But my best one, I would have to say, is going to be that Radicator because I had a Kyosho Raider. And I don't know if you guys remember all these cars, but I say it's good to do visuals. But the Kyosho Raider was cool, but my brother had a friend named Al who had a Fox that always beat me. And that's because I didn't have ball bearings in it. His Fox, he didn't even maintain it. I just didn't understand why his Fox was so fast. But he had a Kyosho 240 ST motor, brush motor in it. Um, so we just have fun. I mean, I've had so many cars, and after I look back, I've had thousands of RC cars. I mean, literally thousands. I mean, for instance, the Stampede 4x4. When they announced that and it came out that in 2009, I used to buy a Stampede 4x4 every year. I was buying it. I bought one, and then I bought one 8 months later, and then I started buying one every year for like 5 years. I think I was buying a new one like every several months. It was crazy because I liked the look of it to feel the new Stampede, and I was just busting my other one up. And I used to love the two-wheel drive until they came out with the 4x4. But now they've done this Hoss thing with it. It doesn't even look like a Stampede. I don't like that they did that. The Bigfoot one kind of reminds me of it. I'm thinking about that, but 350 is a little bit steep for that. I know we're paying for the license and everything, but I wish that was more or less 299. So anyway, I know I was long-winded on that, but best RC car, I'd say it'd have to be the Radicator because man, I used to jump that. One day there was snow in St. Louis, but what happened was it snowed, and for some reason the temperature went up and it rained, but it was still snowing and then all of a sudden it just hit a cold front. So when you walked outside, everything was frozen. You had snow on the bottom but ice on top. So it was almost like you were walking on ice. And I remember I took my Radicator out. My neighbor had a hill behind us, and I was running and jumping, and man, I had a blast with that thing. I had the most fun with that. I mean, driving it at late night in St. Louis, 30-degree weather outside. It just snowed, or the streets were somewhat clear, and that's when they first started coming out with electronic speed controllers. And it was the first car I had a speed controller, an electronic one, because we used to use mechanical speed controllers. But you guys know what those are or not. But it was an XL1, I believe is what Trax is called. It was a big old speed controller. And my body had holes in it. I remember seeing the light as I'm coming down the street because it didn't have lights on my RC car. But so pretty long-winded, but that's the best one as a kid. Then it came out with the Bandit and stuff. But I appreciate that, Michael. His first Nitro was a Fortec. Yeah, there you go. People don't realize this stuff. I mean, they had a the Nitro Forte, and they had the electric one too. Or what was the electric one called that had all the belts on it? And they also had something called a Street Sport. So Traxxas had like a NASCAR type car. It was called a Street Sport, and it was direct drive. It handled like crap because the tires were bad, but I still got it. I was running the walls and everything. But they had something called the Street Sport. Um, they had several things out there. Traxxas used to do a lot of stuff out there. I mean, now it's just it's a lot different. You know, the company's kind of changed so much from what it was back in the day. And I hope they kind of bring that back. I thought they were when they released the Mini Max with the price range and stuff, but gosh, I hope they go back to that because that was kind of a golden era too. And believe it or not, Traxxas helped the industry out several times. Um, I remember when the industry was down in 2000 and maybe 7 or 8. That might have been when the Traxxas Slash was released out, and people went crazy over it. The two-wheel drive Slash, and then and that kind of helped create that market for it and the race market and everything for it. So a lot of people don't like Traxxas as how they are as far as they run their business, but RC wise, their R&D department is good. I just think they need to start pumping out some better cars. So anyway, uh, sells for $1,000 now. What's your favorite road car? Right here, gonna be my favorite road car is a Limitless. It always will be. I mean, I just like I said, I just love the way the Limitless looks. I got a felony fraction. I didn't get a V2 infraction. That's all people find out. I didn't have a V2 infraction. I had a V1 though when I first came out. I went down to Horizon Fest and I bought a V1 infraction. When they first announced it. It was bad. I loved it, and the Limitlesses weren't available then. But I loved the infraction. But when I got a Limitless, it was a done deal because I love the look of this. I just love an IndyCar look. So on road car, I'm gonna say road car is gonna be the Limitless, no doubt. It's hands down the best one. Buggy wise, it's going to be a tie between the Hobio VS2E buggy and then also the Typhon buggy. Because the Typhon's kind of just a versatile platform. You can go out there and do a lot of stuff. And I'm not talking about the TLR, I'm talking about regular Typhon. And then the Hobio one. The Hobio one runs great. The only thing that messes the Hobio one up is just that some of this, just the limitations on the battery, but they made it to be a race buggy. So trying to get to some of these comments. And then Truggy wise, I'm gonna say it's the Creighton because Creighton and Talon, I say the Creighton more or less than anything because the Creighton stood the test of time. I love the look of the Morocco from Team Corrali in the show. I like the Morocco better, but they're not bringing those back out. They got the Kagame stuff, which is fine, but I love the Morocco because it was just a nice looking Truggy. So I'd say Creighton, Morocco. The Vorza Truggy was cool, but it didn't stand the test of time for me. So I'd go on those orders for those three. So there you go, Paul. Over 70 cars. I know when you start having cars like that, it just becomes a lot. So there you go, Paul. He remembers his first car he called like yesterday. Yeah, it's there. Some people don't understand this. Wives, girlfriends, they don't understand it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're a grown up kid. Everybody should still revert back to stuff of their youth, especially that they're an adult and they can afford it now. I mean, if you can't, there's payment plans, there's payment systems, there's all kinds of ways to afford the stuff you couldn't get when you were a kid. And that's why Kyosho and Tamaya are still in the market because they're re-releasing vehicles, they're doing some updates, especially Kyosho is, and it's helping us to revisit those childhood years. I still have yet to get another Optima Javelin. I've always wanted an Optima Javelin. I still want to get a Tamaya Fox. There's several cars I just want to get that I haven't gotten because I know that I'll get them and they'll sit on my shelf or something like that. But I'm glad they're out there. Tamaya needs to re-release the Mud Blaster, then it'll be on. Do you buy stuff from Stupid RC? I don't think I ever have. So, all right, Jeremy, peace out. Won't be too far behind you. Yeah, Charles. The Type is just a good all-around buggy. I mean, and it handles good. You can take it to a local track and do pretty good with the Typhon. The TLR Typhon you'll do a lot better with, but the Typhon is just a good all around buggy. If you're ever gonna get one, if you don't get the new 3S Typhon, just go ahead and get the 6S one. You can't go wrong with either one. Like I said, behind that's gonna be the Hobio. Team Corrali's got their Synchro 4, and their Spark buggy. So there's not that many buggies out there. Of course, Trax has got their JayTee, which I haven't tried yet. I know some people get mad and say, "How can you judge because you haven't tried it?" I've seen it run, I've tested it, but I haven't run it. But I don't want to pay 350 and then spend another 100 plus on a speed controller and ESC to make it go 40 something miles per hour. You know, it should do that out the box. They should have just put the VXL system in and called it a day. You know, made it 3S, but then they're probably concerned about their 4S when it comes out. So back and forth, blah blah blah. I don't know. I think they shouldn't have put that in there because I've seen the videos and I'm like, yeah, 23 to 25 out the box is not a good. It's not a good look. So anyway, Johnny says he just got the Ultimate X Max. Congrats on that. What's the best gearing for the stock model with a Castle Mamba 8S ESC? Any needed upgrades you think? I think the best thing with the X Max, and this is just me, I like the X Max stock out the box. I didn't really put a lot of power in mine. I need to revisit it or get a new X Max, which could be in the plan. I don't know, but I think I know that if you get some better batteries for it, your X Max will run good. I use SMC lipos in mine, and it actually picks it up, and it runs well. And I use my X Max not to go 70, 80 miles per hour. I use it to go about 50, and I think it comes with an 18 tooth pinion gear. So with mine, I never went higher than a 20 tooth pinion gear. But now that you're upgrading to a Castle ESC, you're going to get a lot more power out of it. Um, so the only thing I'd worry about is going to be that spur gear, because once you start doing a lot of bash with it, it's made out of what we call monkey metal. So you may have to do some upgrades to that because it's going to suck you out there running the strips and brakes. So, but yeah, good job on doing an update on it because it stock out the box is fine, and that's what I run mine with the 22. If I don't go any higher, that stock speed controller can handle that, but anything over that's going to be a lot more. So, what's going on, Australian RC? I would say the 6S Creighton, the newer one. I mean, the 8S is fine too. It's going to cost you a lot more money to get that running. So it just depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you're in a big open area, you want to do the 8S, go for it. But I would say you can't go wrong with either one. But if you're asking me, I would say do the 6S. Do the new 6S. You would love that with that clipless body and everything. So Paul says Typhon 6S with Mojave tires is pretty close to the perfect car. Yeah, I can see that. I think did I try that? I can't remember. I've had so many different creations, but I can see that running though. Okay, I'll check out Stupid RC. So okay, so the Ultimate has that in there. So if you go to a 22, you should be fine because you're gonna see a lot more power with that ESC. Trust me. Once you run it in there, you're like, oh my gosh, where you been my whole life? So, all right, guys, I really can't stay on here too much longer. I'm gonna have to get off of here. I promise in 2025 I'll get some better Go Live software. I can get some guests on here and we can chat and go back and forth and show screens and all that. I just wanted to touch base with you guys, show you guys this because I don't even know if I'll ever run it or not. It might just be a shelf queen. So, Sean, actually, yeah, I'm gonna probably do something with Hype RC next month. It's probably gonna be the weekend of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. That's that Monday of the 20th, so it'll probably be the 18th and 19th. As far as locally here in Georgia, I got to give us some of the hobby shops. I thought about a bass session, a spring bass session, but it's just a lot to pull that together. Because if I do it, I do have to charge because I got to pay for insurance. So if I do it myself, which I still think about doing it here, there will be an entry fee, but that's just to cover the cost of everything to get up in there for it. But let me think about that more because I did want to do one in 2025. Now it'd be pretty cool. But as far as a few buddies getting together, sometimes I just run cars with people. There's a couple of local groups and stuff here. It's just kind of finding areas you can run cars at. But if you're in Georgia, maybe you can meet me at the Hobby Town in Kennesaw. Sometime we can find an area, go over to that park across the street from it and run cars over there. So peace out, Charles. I appreciate you joining in. You too, Sun City. Have a very good night. Good night, Michael. Appreciate it, Harlan. You have a good night as well. Johnny, you take it easy too. Have a good week. Y'all have a good, safe New Year. And appreciate you, Addicted RC, to remind everybody to smash that like button. And you guys have to go over there and check his channel out as well. If you haven't, check him out and subscribe to him as well. So you guys have a good new year. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to eat my pizza rolls. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to chill out. So appreciate you guys as always watching my videos, subscribing to me, staying with me this long, being patient with me. Sometimes I don't get videos out. I don't have a lot of time to do stuff, but when I have time, I do try to put videos out. So anyway, stay tuned for that Kagama video tomorrow because I can't wait to get that in and run that. And I'll do a speed test on it and take it off road and do a quick bash session. So all right, y'all. I will see you guys later.